how you help people, and anything else you want to tell us before we start.
Well, it's good to see everybody in the room today. My buddies here on the stage, Paulette, Cyrus, Natalie, and of course our twin. Good to see all of you, and everyone in the listening lounge. And so we're all here to help each other. The way I do it is I help you to get known through podcasts. I'm doing podcasts and also video podcasts, also video, and also writing books. So I recently wrote a children's book, Max's Quest for the Lost Treasure. It's a rhyming book for children that are from 1 years of age to 5, and it helps them with their literacy skills. And so I also have something that's I are in the same rebel with a cause, and it's I'm going to be having my story in there about something that happened to me when I was a teenager, which made me a rebel. So I can't wait to hear everybody's story and what made them become a rebel. So that's what we do. What we do is we help people in whatever they need so that their business can grow. And my forte is with the video podcasting and also podcasting filmmaking. So I will hand the mic back over to you, Annie. Thank you.
Genius, Miss Angelica, we're glad to have you here. So let's go to Paulette, our next super genius. Paulette, talk to us.
Hello. Yes, I'm here. I have no clue what I'm doing, so I'm just going to smile and say that I used to be in the corporate world. I climbed through the glass ceiling, as they say. So I used to go and rescue businesses. So if a company had got themselves into trouble, they'd bought excess inventories or had problems with stock, or their marketing had failed, or whatever their particular company problem was, I would get put in there to try and fix it. And in the event of fixing it, hopefully keep people employed. I was known as the hatchet woman for reasons I've never understood, but I think that's called fear. I understand what fear is, of course, but I actually was not a hatchet woman. What I was somebody who tried to make sure that the people that were left in the business wanted to be there, were determined to make it successful, and were on board with all the needs of the company. And so that was really what I did for the best part of 30 years and was very good at it. I'm not going to lie, I was very good at it. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed going into a company and saying, yes, I am the problem director. And they used to look at me as if I was bonkers. So, do you know, you've never had a problem director before? Well, now you have. Aren't you lucky? I want every single problem on my desk tomorrow morning. Got all day today, but by tomorrow morning, I want every problem. Pick up the carpet, drag it all out, put it on the table. No one's going to be sacked. No one's going to go anywhere, but I just need to know how bad of a problem we've got. Anyone caught lying to me will be left with leaving the business that day, because there's no point being here if you're not here to help try and turn the business around. So let's all go at it, all on board. And that was my ethos. And because I was so straight talking, because I was so honest, I told them how it was. I never sort of really had to say to somebody, you know, you've lied to me, off you go. I used to get a few people say, I might have found a few more of them, you know, I've found out there's another boat or another shipload or whatever. But, you know, they weren't lying. They had just come across information. That wasn't a reason to sack somebody. But if somebody was to look me in the eye and lie to me, that was their chance. So it's really important when you're in a position of trying to help a company, fix a company, sort out issues with a company, understand what their stress points are. You have to be able to have an honest conversation And so many people are frightened of being honest. Sometimes the problems in the company is just pure management, you know? And if you get put in there by Deloitte or by a liquidation company or whoever, you're there to fix it, not to break it, because the only way they're going to get their money back is if you fix it, right? So it's in the interest of accountants to fix the problems, not to break the business up and destroy them. So I think the most important thing to learn in business is honesty, and I would say that that's something that I try to push through everything in my life. Is always honesty. Kindness and honesty are the two most important factors, not only in life but in business. You know, and I think if you can't do those things, then there's going to be problems. And when those problems occur, you know, you've got an honest conversation to be had. So that's what I'd say. That's who I am. I'm now a book author of children's books. I retrained as a counsellor when I retired, and now I'm very, very involved in children's mental health. That's what I do. That's what I am. I'm incredibly important. With as many of the just everything to do with books and children, and getting everyone on board with all the ideas that nobody's a failure, nobody's actually losing anything here. The most important thing is that we all understand if we have a problem, we fix it. That's the same with children and education and educational intelligence, intellectual literacy. You know, if we are lacking in these departments, then we find a way to fill them. I just find that when you find people say, "Oh, they're not emotionally intelligent," well, do they even know what emotionally intelligent means? Because it might not mean they're emotionally intelligent. It just might mean they've missed out an awful lot of education, and they need some support and help. So it's really important to me that we just, you know, backtrack, find out what's wrong, and fix it. So that's who I am. Sorry, I went on a bit. I apologize.
Don't worry about that, Paul. I had time to refresh my screen, leave the room, and come back in.
I know. That's why I did it.
My screen froze. My screen froze.
You disappear. I like to support.
That's why you're a star, Paulette. So no, thank you so much. Cyrus, are you back with us yet?
I am, yes. I've been back for a while now.
Okay, superb. Please tell us who you are, man.
Hi, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are based. My name is Cyrus, and I am the CEO of Whisperboy and Bono Vinote and WendyJuno.com. So what I do is I create podcasts and I create podcasters. So if you have a podcast, I'm the right person to talk to help you grow your podcast. If you are a podcaster, again, I'm the right person for you, because I know all the good podcasters, all the brilliant podcasters actually. And what we do is we use the expertise of people like Paulette, Angelica, Annie, and many other amazing individuals I know on LinkedIn, on TikTok, on Facebook, and on YouTube, and help you grow your business. Why am I doing this? That's the main question. Most of you might be wondering that. I'm doing this because for a long while, I was doing what I was doing in business without knowing what I was doing. I was just winging it. I was going from Monday to Friday without even knowing what I was doing, and going through a terrible depression on Saturday and Sunday. And I would go out with my friends. I would drink to forget. And for the next few days, the same cycle would get repeated and repeated. I was lucky enough to be found by someone else and I didn't know I was lost until I was found by that guru, by that person. So then I started doing live grow parties on TikTok a few years back, and I learned a lot on TikTok, and not enough, of course. It's never enough. I've just realized that I don't know anything. That's, again, every day is a new school day, right? Every day you learn new things. What I do right now is I am helping people through my podcastologist podcasting packages. It's like a tongue twister, isn't it? Podcastologist podcasting packages. So please do go to whisperboy.com and check out the fantastic prices on the website right now. The prices are basically slashed to half price until end of September. So today I have the pleasure of being accompanied by Angelica, Annie, Paulette, Jasmine Ofori as well. So did I miss anyone else? Okay, so we are so the experts that I've invited to the floor today, guys, are being broadcast. So are you guys, everybody else as well. Everybody, we are recording this, and we are broadcasting it to LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. And that's the disclaimed. Okay, now Angelica and Paulette talked about what they do and why they do it. And now, whenever you see a business that is really successful, you need to remember somebody has done sacrifices that other people aren't willing to do, and that person did, and that's why they're successful. Growing a business is not a walk in the park. Okay, so when it comes to business, even a walk in the park is not a walk in the park. It's not easy. It's never easy. It's never meant to be easy. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. So I see any Allsongs business and I automatically deduce and come to the conclusion that this amazing person has made sacrifices in his business and his life, personal life, and of course in his business. So, Annie, why is it that you do what you do? And very briefly, what is it that you do? Please go ahead. Annie Allsong, the godfather of LinkedIn. Please go ahead, Annie. Annie, if you're speaking, unmuting the microphone would be a good idea. Annie? Okay, Annie can't hear us. I think it's technical issues again. So one of the another.
I went to go and talk to my cats. My cats were playing and having a war, so I had to let the big one into a room, and my kitten stopped being annoying. What was your question, Cyrus?
Annie, what I asked was, what is it that you do in your business?
Oh, me.
And
me,
also,
me. Oh.
Why is it that you do it?
Oh, okay. No, what I do and why I do it is pretty much the same thing. Look, I want to make everyone famous. I want to let everyone know who my friends are and what they do. I want everyone to know your genius and your solutions. I want them to trust you. If you're famous, people immediately trust you to be credible. Think of people you see on TV or in ads anywhere almost. And I'm looking at Jasmine. Even see someone on an ad on Facebook, suddenly it gives them credibility. You think, oh, they wouldn't be doing ads if they weren't trustworthy, would they? Besides, you wouldn't be on TV, you wouldn't be on radio if you weren't trustworthy. You wouldn't be in any audio room if you're not trustworthy. And you certainly wouldn't be writing books with me and publishing books with me or marketing books with me if you weren't trustworthy. That's pretty much why I do what I do. Now, ultimately, when people trust you, they buy from you. I want everyone to buy from you. If you can help people, I want you to help more of them. And that means often that they have to pay you for your services, right? Everything I do is about making sure people know my friends, trust them, and do business with them. Does that answer your question, Cyrus?
Absolutely. That was fantastic. Thank you. What I've noticed is that almost everyone that I know in this live are the people that I learned through yourself. At least the experts are on this stage are amongst those individuals and those business people. And so, guys, if you want to know the right people, definitely follow Eni, because he will get you in touch. He will put you in touch with the right people. And what do I mean by right people? People who say they can solve your problem and they actually do it. It's not just saying so. It's just doing so. So he's a can-do guy. Just follow him. Now, why are we here tonight? So or today? So we're here today to learn how can we turn our podcast listeners or YouTube channel viewers into loyal customers. So what should we do what's the first thing that we should do? So the first thing is to get those listeners. If they're not there, you can't turn something that isn't there into a customer, right? So first you need to create that loyal customer base before you can get the customers, right? So tonight we're talking about how to turn your podcast listeners into customers and how to turn your podcast or YouTube channel into a sales machine, right? So let's very quickly go through a couple of quick points. Podcast is a very, very powerful platform. You don't necessarily have to be on somebody else's platform. You can record and store your files on your own website. You can use the common apps on which people listen to their podcasts, something like Spotify. So why is it important? So let me give you an example. If Eni tells me, okay, Cyrus, here's 3,000 names they have specifically asked for you. Call them. They are potential customers. Turn them into customers. All right. So let's say I call all those 3,000 people. Do you know how long it's going to take? It's going to take somewhere in excess of, I don't know, 3 weeks, let's say. Yeah. So it takes 3 weeks. And let me give you an alternative to that. What if Eni gives me that list, and then me, instead of calling them, I'm going to record one episode for 10 minutes. In those 10 minutes, I'm going to pitch my product and services, and those 3,000 customers will be sent a link each, and they all, at the same time, they will all listen to the pitch and they will decide. Obviously, I'm going to follow them through and I'm going to send them follow-up messages, etc., etc. And instead of 3,000, they could share it as well, by the way. I'm going to end up with more customers because they're going to share it. I'm going to talk about the pain points of for the customers, and they're going to get value out of that. Remember, always give value before you ask. Okay, always give value before you ask for their custom. Always provide them with the help and support that they need. The secret to success in business is to show people how to do it Once you taught them, trust me, they are too busy to do it themselves. They're going to employ you. They're going to hire you. Okay. Always be honest with them and honest with your customer base. Show them how it's done. They're going to employ you. They're going to hire you anyway. And some of them will, some of them won't. It's just a market is a numbers game. Some people, it depends on the footfall. Some people come into your shop. Some people won't. Out of those people who come into your shop, some of them will make purchases. Some of them won't. So it's just a numbers game. Just trust the process. So back to that example. Instead of me making 3,000 phone calls, I recorded it once. It took me half a day, right? And I saved myself 3 weeks of my life that I won't have to lose and try to get back, right? So, Annie, what do you think of that?
Referrals are always a good way. Introductions are always a good way to get customers. Of course, again, it's part of building that. If you have to trust you before they come to you, then you haven't. There's no help needed. All left to do is essentially book a meeting and give them a price.
That's understandable. That's understandable. Now, for our friends on Facebook, LinkedIn, and on YouTube, you can alongside me, you can see Paulette Hallam, the author of Jack and Walter. Paulette, why don't you go ahead and take like 2 minutes and talk about the amazing product that you've created. It's this fantastic book, and also tell us why you created it, please.
Button, I can do that. Yes, this is all very new to me. Hi, my name is Paula Hallam. I created the Jack and Walter books because there's a huge need for children to be taught that they've got a second voice. They've got their actual voice, and then they've got an inner voice. And the inner voice is what we all call our gut reaction. Our should we do that? Shouldn't we do that? Is it dangerous? Isn't it dangerous? It's the sort of in your stomach feeling of I shouldn't have done that. Or it's also the feeling of huge excitement when you're about to do something. We call it butterflies in our tummy as well. That's your inner voice. And children have stopped using it. Children have stopped learning about it. And it is a really clever way of protecting children. And what I want to do is for children to actually use that inner voice to protect themselves against the world, if you like. It gives them an opportunity to talk to somebody. So if they're on their own, they can have a little, I call it a conference call with themselves and ask themselves, I don't really feel happy about that. I don't like being in that room with Uncle Jim. Uncle Jim's a bit worrying. I don't like him. So you say to your parents, I don't know what it is about Uncle Jim, but I'm a bit wary of him. At least you've told them. Now your parents are aware. Another example would be, I'm being bullied. Am I being bullied, or are they calling me names? And then you think, hang on a minute. If they were just calling me names, that only happened once or twice. But when they talk to Walter in their mind, this is happening every day. This is bullying. This is horrible. And Walter would help you work out that you need to tell an adult. So the reason the books were born was because I felt there was a huge gap in children being taught and children understanding they had this amazing superpower that protects them in their brains that they're not using. And that's the water. So water can be any sex, male or female, doesn't matter. You could call your water whatever you want to call your water. But in the books, it's Jack and Walter. And water is the sort of conscious mind, the mind that's all thinking and all knowing. And then Jack's sort of all over the place. And that's his sort of subconscious mind, where he's not quite sure what he should do or shouldn't do. So that's a kind of basic example and understanding of the sort of premise of the books. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And before I move on to the next point, could you please tell us about your recent podcast as well?
Yes, I have a microphone. It's all very exciting. I've got a microphone, and I've done my first podcast, and that was last week. And I've got another one to do tomorrow. And yeah, we're moving forward with the podcasts because I think the bigger the reach, the sooner I can get these books in children's hands, the better. And one final thing, every penny from the books is going to charity. I want to make that really clear. These books are not made to make me J.K. Rowling. It's every penny is going to charity to help kids.
You said J.K. Rowling, right?
Yeah,
That's
I wouldn't mind being
creator
J.K.
of Harry
Rowling.
Potter. That's the creator of Harry Potter. Have you watched Harry Potter?
I have.
You have? Okay, so you're familiar with the concept. So what spell is it that Harry Potter uses in a petrol station?
Oh gosh, don't do that to me now. That's a quiz question I had in a pub quiz. I can't remember. Go on. No, you said
expensive petroleum.
Petroleum. I knew it was coming. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so, it's a very good joke.
Oh yeah, thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, also we've got the creator of Jew Digital, Jasmine Ofori, the fantastic LinkedIn genius. So, Jasmine, please go ahead and tell us a few words about you, your business, and why is it that you do what you do.
Okay, thank you, Cyrus, for inviting me to this platform. I appreciate it. Hello, Paulette. I hope you're well. So I'm Jasmine, founder of Jew Digital. I'm based in the UK from Staffordshire, where we're known for pottery making. So what I do is I help coaches, consultants, and event hosts to promote their brand using social media promotions. It's customized to, their preference, and we help them to generate leads and sales using social media. And why I do what I do, I have two things. The reasons that I do what I do, number one, is to be an example to my daughter. I want her to see that when you set your mind to something, you will achieve it. So that's the number one drive for me. And also I enjoy helping people. I enjoy helping businesses to, also gain the success that they need and also achieve what they need to achieve and focus on, how to move forward. So I enjoy connecting people together and, getting them to achieve what they need to achieve. So those are the two reasons why I do what I do. Thank you, Cyrus.
Thank you so much. You are one of the greatest helps that I've seen on LinkedIn, and you're good at what you do. So people who are present in the live on LinkedIn, on YouTube, and on Facebook, please do follow Jasmine Ofori. Do follow Paulette Hallam, and also Angelica Coral and Annie Osong. Annie, if you wish to welcome some of the new guests, that would be appreciated.
Cool. In case you're wondering why you can hear Paulette and Jasmine, but you can't see them, they're on live stream. And they're not ghosts; they are on live stream. And this room is being streamed, and I guess it works both ways. We can hear them, but we can't see them. Or they can, and they also now people on other platforms can hear us, but they can't see us. So don't be concerned, my friends. Let me welcome Lashandra, our housing genius, Professor Lashandra. It's what I should call her, really. That's what she is. I know you're working on your books, Lashandra, as well. So welcome. Thanks for joining us. Dentist, my super dentist friend, and she's a real dentist. She talks about prevention of tooth decay and tooth loss. And how to really keep your teeth and your mouth healthy. So her book launch is on Thursday, the 29th. Come and support her book launch. Her book, Mummy, What is Tooth Decay? It's a kids book. Parents read the book to kids more than anything else. you love the book, and of course, there's useful information that our kids need to know about keeping their teeth healthy. Like I say that because I remember my son had an operation. I think it was 7. He had to have a tooth out, and that's pretty young these days, right? The dentist is there to prevent those sort of things happening to our kids. And I do come along and say, now there'll be fun activities, there'll be a prize draw. The dentist is going to raise a part of the book for us. If you've been to my book launch events, you know what to expect. It's always fun, right? And you get to buy the book at super low price. I can't tell you the price will be until tomorrow. Then I'll know for sure. Amazon tells us what we must charge. Prince, welcome. Coral from across the pond. Well, we're both in the UK, but Coral is an amazing person, amazing friend to have. Miss Enthusiasm herself, like energy. Everyone needs a Coral on their side, someone who's cheerleading for you and supporting everything you do. Mark, I see you too. Welcome. Anna, welcome. And you, May, our school teacher, all the way in Nigeria. Welcome. Glad you're here. For Joshua, I see you too. Nicholas, welcome. Michelle and Dr. Roxana, I think I mentioned you both, right? A few jumped ahead of my list, I think. Marcia, no, I think I mentioned everyone else is in the room. So welcome all of you. Margaret, of course, I see you. So we're just in the room just now. Margaret, I can't be 2 places at once, right? If I'm hosting the room, when I press end, it ends, right? I leave, and then the room goes, yeah. Sorry, Margaret, we'll talk later anyway. Margaret's one of my superstar co-authors on the anthology, Lessons We Learned from COVID-19. That's the one we launched last week, my friends. If you haven't bought yours yet, go and buy it. Go and buy it now. The price can't go any lower, so get some inspiration from people like Margaret, Dr. Roxana, and saying, how many over 10 authors altogether telling us stories about the pandemic, but we found inspiration and I guess a way to be where we are today. What can you learn from our stories? That's the question. There's always something there for everyone, my friends. Let me assure you. If you want the link, message me. I'll put a link in the comments anyway. So let's learn to support each other's books, especially because I think those who write books do it for humanity and for benefit of others. Really, of course, we might sell some books, but the task to write a book, publish a book, is a huge mission, huge undertaking, and these books are there for others to learn from, even long after we die. I know your book is ready, Cyrus. So I'm giving my back to you. Talk about your book sometime, Cyrus, and let's publish that book.
Yeah, sure, definitely. Thank you so much, Annie. So, guys, one of the pain points that I've realized most businesses have, at least the ones that are not thriving, is the fact that they don't have an offer, right? The business exists, okay? I'm not going to say it too loud, okay? We don't want anybody else to hear it. We're just going to keep it in this room. If you don't have an offer, you're wasting your time. Okay, you need to have some sort of offer. Okay, you need to be able to send your customers, your audience, to some sort of, I don't know, website, web page, your LinkedIn page, right? But please do not spend another day without an offer, because when you don't have one, people can't accept an offer that does not exist, right? Think about it. Now, I want you to ask yourself a question. Do I have an offer? Now, you're going to be wondering for the next couple of days. If you don't have one, you're going to be kicking yourself. Why didn't I think of this before? And this random guy on these online platforms, this Cyrus, just told me about it. Why didn't I know it myself? Why didn't I know about it? Now, you know about it. Now, please do something about it. If you don't have an offer, please create one. Now, the offer is your services in a bundle, in a package, with some sort of terms and conditions attached to it. Like, I normally offer my services for £10 or $10. Now, you can have it for $7 if you apply by tomorrow. So, a timed offer. Have you seen those? Have you seen those small terms and condition thingies on the products. Have you seen those? Why are they there? Because there's an offer somewhere. And in your business, on your here's another thing that people don't have. Most businesses don't have. And ironically, they're struggling ones. Those people who can't sell their products, those people who can't sell the services, they don't have a funnel. And no, I'm not talking about a funnel that people use to put liquids through. No, I'm not talking about those funnels. However, they call it a funnel for a reason, a sales funnel. Please Google a sales funnel. Please remember that you need one. Okay, so if there's one takeaway from this session, I want it to be this: I need an offer, and I need a funnel. Okay, so how are you going to let your customers know, let your potential customers know about your offer? Through your funnel. Okay, they call it a funnel because there's plenty of customers up there. It goes, and then some of them are interested, and some of them are not interested. Some of them are interested. Some of them are interested. It comes down, 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 and down, and up to the moment the mouth of the funnel gets smaller and smaller. They are the final ones, final potential customers who turn into customers, right? So it's wide at the bottom, at the top, and very, very narrow at the bottom. It looks like that's the shape of the funnel. That's what they call the sales funnel, right? You talk to 3,000 people, 1,500 of them respond, and 300 of them are saying they are interested, and 100 of them end up being your customers, and 50 of them become actual customers because they press buy on your website. So some of you come to me and say, well, I do have an offer. I do offer my services, but I can't turn the leads into customers. Okay, so you need to create a community. When you have a community, you don't have to resort to hard sale tactics. You don't have to beg people for answering your DMs on LinkedIn, right? Who begs people on LinkedIn? Who begs generally? People who are not in a position of power. They beg. Please buy my services. People who are in a position of power, they choose their customers. You have to be selective in this market, right? Sometimes, well, some people say, I don't have the luxury of that. But when you create a community, you don't have to resort to hard sale tactics, right? So then people come to you. Have you ever wondered, why aren't people following me and chasing me for my product? It's because you don't have a community, right? You need to have a community. You're a Facebook community. You can talk to Jasmine Ofori regarding that, and she will help you with it. She certainly helped me with it. And that's why she's on my show tonight, just to say thank you. That's how I appreciate people who have helped me in the past. I bring them to my show. So Eni is one of them. He has been helping me for at least for the past 6 months, and he's the reason for my growth on LinkedIn. There you go. I said it. Okay, so always be appreciative of people who've helped you. Okay, and that is just common courtesy and very obvious. Sorry for stating the obvious. Now, the next thing is, if you haven't built a community, that tells me you haven't built a brand. A brand is you plus the support structure around you. When you don't have a support structure, when you don't have a community, I know for a fact you don't have a brand. I know it. Just because you have a shop on Amazon, it doesn't mean you're a brand. A brand is you, your personality, how you deal with people, and the people around you, right? So that's what your brand is. Brand is what this always gets me. Your brand is what people don't say in your face. That's what people say in the room when you are not in the room. I'm not going to say it out loud. Your brand is what people say behind your back, whispering. So when you come back to the room, everyone's like, "Oh, hi, how's it going?" And when you leave the room, "Oh, he was DMing me left, right, and center. Oh, he's relentless." Okay, so that is really your brand. Okay, what they don't say in your face. So another thing I've learned in creating your podcast and creating your brand and creating your business is that you get an idea, you love it as much as you love your children. Oh, I found this idea. I found this brand. It's fantastic. Let's call it, I don't know. Let's call it Bonovinote. You know, one of the brands I've created. Let's call it Jasmine Ofori. Let's call it Jew Digital. Okay, I found a brand. Let's call it Jack and Walter. Right. Let's call it I don't know, Angelica Coral. So let's call it any other song. I found this idea. So what should I do with it? Oh, go ahead and create a t-shirt. Okay, or put it on a baseball cap. Okay, that's fantastic. So how is it going to help you? Let me be honest with you guys. The only people, so that's the initial stage, right? The only people who benefit from this are those individuals. The only people who make money out of this process are those individuals who print it. So those people who print the t-shirts and the baseball cap or the mugs or the coasters, they make more money than you do because you went to them and you placed an order, right? That mug is not your brand. That mug is simply carrying your logo. Yeah, your brand is how you deal with people. Your brand is going to someone's life despite the fact that you more tired than the guy who designed the Japanese flag, right? So when you're tired and you still go and help people, like Jasmine, what time is it now? She's got children. So does many other people in this room. We have lives, we have children. This is the end of the day, nearly midnight here, and it's been a long week and a really, really energy consuming weekend as well for many of us. We're still gathered around here. It's the commitment that gets your brand going. I'm gonna ask you a question, but before that, I'd like to hear the angelic voice of Angelica Coral. And Angelica, please go ahead. Tell us how you're feeling today, and what is your take on what we just shared with people.
I love what you were sharing, Cyrus. I think it's really important to have something to give. It's good to have a product and a price for the product, something to share, and something to say. Like if you have a brief pitch about what you do. But I think the most important thing in the pitch is that you always have to keep in mind that it's not about you, it's about everybody else, because that's what we're here for, to help other people, right?
Wow, that's why we love you.
Thank you.
That's fantastic.
Thank you. So yeah, so that's I'll keep it short and sweet. Remember to think about who your audience is and think about how you can help them. I'm always thinking about ways to help people, you know, maybe even if it's not something that I can, if I don't have a product, if I know somebody else that has it, I definitely connect people with other people. So it's important. And that's why connection is so important, because, you know, lots of times people say, well, no, I don't see how this person can help me, but they might know somebody else that can help you. So that's where the magic lies. So back over to you.
That's brilliant. Angelica, tell us, how do you build your relationship with, because you're a podcaster, we all know your customer base is your listeners. You don't have to niche down any further. You already niche down. They're already there, right? They're already listening to you. Like all these amazing people who are already in this room, like 20, 30 people, more than 30 people in this room. Do we need to niche down anymore to attract them? No, they already know that we've got what they need. And they already know they've got what we need. We need that mutual connection, right? Why do we call it mutual? There's two ends, right? These amazing people in the VIP lounge and these amazing people on the stage. So this is an interaction, right? People who come to your home, either you've invited them before, you're comfortable with them, or you just invited them. They for whatever reason, they're already there. Like half the problem is solved, right? So So when you look at Jasmine Ofori's page, she's got, I don't know, 7, 8, 9, 10K or whatever number of followers she's got on Facebook. Half the problem is solved there, right? She doesn't have to go to 7,000 people. Those 7,000 people have already signed up to her, to something fantastic. Let me tell you what that fantastic thing is. So whatever comes out of her mouth is going to land on these people's ears, and they're going to read it and listen to it, right? How fantastic is that? Instead of her following them. So what is your strategy, Angelica, for creating a community around you? How have you done it? Come on, tell us what's your secret.
I think I think what I do is what most of us do is we build those personal relationships by living it, because you can't fake the funk. When we're talking here in our audio rooms, people get to listen to the way that we treat others, how we react when there's stress, all and how we handle a confrontation. All of that, like you mentioned earlier, is our brand. So if we're not acting the way that we're saying that that we believe people should be, and if it's not matching, then that looks fake. So we have to live it. We have to live what we preach. Otherwise, you don't build the trust, because people are like, well, this person says this, but look at how they're acting, right? So that's one way. And another way is I try and connect with everyone in the room. And what I do is I reach out to them in the DMs and say hello. And I don't like to be one of these people that tries to sell. If people are interested in what I have, then I'm there for them. But I'm not one of these people that, by the way, I have this thing I want to sell to you. I think the most important thing is first, it's the relationships that we're building here, and I think when people get to see that you're real, that and they can see that you're consistent, here on LinkedIn, then that's one of the biggest ways that you can build the authority and the relationships and your community.
Fantastic.
Right?
I was gonna explain about creating a loyal community. You already explained that, so I'm not going to go through that again. So guys, please remember what Angelica just said. So you have to create that community, and you have to respect them, and you have to deal with them in an amicable way, and that trust will be built over time. So that's the magic of magic of podcasting. You just heard it from a podcaster, right? Authenticity, genuine connection, sincere communication. These are the things that you need to create to have a successful customer base. So, and Angelica already explained about audience retention, loyal listeners, and repeated sale. So you can't have repeated sale if you don't have the sale in the first place. So the best way to sell is to not sell, right? Not to try to sell, because this is how people's brain works, right? People hate to be sold to, but they love buying stuff, right? So now, Paulette, regarding Jack and Walter, sorry, Paulette, did I just wake you up? I'm only joking. So regarding Jack and Walter,
I'm awake.
Regarding Jack and Walter, did you say you have a website for it as well?
Yes, I have a website. Yeah, www.walterontheweb.com. So it's a nice, easy one for the children to remember. So Walter on the Web. And I think talking about, for me as well, reciprocal trading and reciprocal working is so very important as well. Don't forget that, because if you don't have the service, but you know someone else, as Angelica says, needs it, and you know somebody who can fill that role, and then you introduce them, you're not looking for a fee for that. You're looking after that person's needs. So what that does is actually take you 2 steps up the ladder in the trust game. Suddenly you've become not only useful to them for what you do, but also for what you can bring. And I think the rooms, the LinkedIn audio rooms, you learn about so many different people, so many different services. It's almost like we've got a yellow pages in the UK. I don't know what the equivalent is in America, but like a big old trade book of every single tradesman you could want. But we've already got one-to-one relationships with these people. We've already built that trust. So therefore, we are in a much stronger position to make an introduction that would go straight down that funnel and end up as being an absolute lead. So something else to remember.
Thank you so much. One of the things that where people and businesses go wrong is trying to deal with customers one by one, right? One to one. One to one is a very effective method, no doubt, but you need to create that base first, okay? Then out of those people, you should go and do your one to one. The problem is people go to strangers and do one to one, right? So I'm not gonna go to a random stranger on a bus stop at a bus stop and say, will you buy my services? Why should I do it online then? If I'm not doing it in real life, why should I do it online? Always ask yourself, right? What would Jasmine do, right? What would Paulette do? What would Angelica do? What would Annie do? Would they go to strangers and send them DMs? No, they're busy creating that community, right? So another thing that people need to remember, a podcast has an unlimited reach. We all know, we have all received links from people who found something interesting on YouTube and they share it. So that is podcast sharing. That is vodcast sharing. That's a video podcast, isn't it? So create something problem solving in your business, in your niche, and share it. That's how it works. But if you don't have a podcast, that means you don't have a community that is loyal to you yet. If you have like, I don't know, 20,000 followers on LinkedIn or on YouTube or whatever platform, that is not going to turn into sales unless you do it correctly, right? There's a procedure to follow, right? And successful people follow that procedure correctly. So again, as these amazing ladies and gentlemen on the stage just mentioned, be genuine. Integrity is important in what you do. Being genuine is important, and don't try to be Paulette Hallam. Paulette Hallam is already busy being Paulette Hallam. Don't try to be Jasmine Ofori or Annie Osung or Angelica Coral. Be yourself, because those positions, those roles are already taken. So try to be yourself. If you adopting somebody else's style, add your personality to it. Then people will be gravitating towards you. People come to you for you, right? They're not coming to you for your products. Trust me, they're coming to you for you. And when they come to you for you, and they're not buying your product, that means there's something they don't like about you. You need to correct that, right? Or you need to find out what is it that people want from you, then create that. Don't forget the famous adage that almost everyone knows. If you give what people need, they will give you what you want. So, Annie, and what's your take on it so far? I know you're tired, Annie.
I got another night's work to do, mate. But we do have to go very soon.
Yes, that's correct.
Let me welcome the few for the amazing Linda Grace joined us, true legend. She is. Welcome, Linda. Tassam, I see my good friend William. There was first audio room on Thursday with Margaret, I believe. Of course, Lara, I see you. Yusuke, welcome as well. My brother Zara. Onyenka, and my brother Esume. Welcome, all of you. Look, of course, you know, I've got a podcast, you know, and I didn't use it to sell, you know, the way I should, you know, the way you're saying, Cyrus. You know, I guess I didn't know what to. I mentioned my marketing services. It took me a long while to realize, unless I should mention it properly. I'm talking about beginning of the podcast, middle of the podcast, and end of the podcast. Then nothing would happen. Then I guess I changed that a bit into selling sponsorship of the podcast.
Yeah.
Again, you know, we had to, you know, the way we demonstrated that was by, you know, showcasing our sponsors, so people could see what the product was. Cyrus, they could see what sponsors get.
Yeah.
So, you know, so there are different ways that you can get people to buy into your services. But if you don't tell them in the first place, it's not going to happen. And if you don't show, you know, if you can show them, even better, right?
Yeah, of course.
You know, in business, again, a lot of people just want to talk on their podcast. Don't realize that it's a tool, right?
Yeah, absolutely. What is your website, please, Annie?
Global.media, so global.media.com.
Thank you. Jasmine, what is your website, please?
My website is jewdigital.com, but I think everybody would get more value by joining my Facebook group, which I encourage them to come in and connect with, and it's called The Small Business Hustle. If you go to www.facebook.com/groups/The Small Business Hustle, you'll be able to get in, but I'll share it in the comment section.
Thank you so much. And Angelica, do you have a website as well?
I had a website, but Google closed it down. They have this new, I think they're using this other program called Square.
Yeah.
And so now I have to do my own website. But, you know, I find LinkedIn works really good as a landing page if you know how to do it right.
Yes.
So that's why I've been concentrating on that. But I love what your friend that has the Facebook, what's her name again?
Jasmine.
Yeah, Jasmine. Yeah, I think we should put it also in our comments here on LinkedIn.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely. Please, guys, everybody, please post your websites. People on VIP stage as well, please. Please, if you have a website, I would like you to do yourself a favor and do me a favor, please. And type your website in the comments section. If you watching this show on LinkedIn, on Facebook, or on YouTube, or whatever platform you're watching it on, please add your website in the comments section. If you feel your website, if you feel your service is worthy of being sold, why not share your website and let people's problems get solved by your amazing services and products, right? So finally, we're going to finish on this. So I've noticed on LinkedIn audio rooms, when people are pitching their products and services, sometimes the presenter struggles with controlling the audio room, and that is how the audio room gets sidetracked. The podcast, that live podcast, gets sidetracked. The best way to control that situation, because that person has spent their time, energy, and expertise to come to that platform and advertise their services, and then someone comes to the live and is talking about something that is not relevant to the subject matter. Annie, how would you resolve that? How would you fight that fire?
The one where someone comes and doesn't say what they do.
Yeah, so when what they are explaining about, when there's a guest that does not explain about what the subject matter of the room is asking for, how would you bring this subject? How would you bring the conversation back to what the conversation is supposed to be?
I tend to restate what we're there for, number one, and then and also, you know, so sometimes we can't solve everyone's problems, right? Because we're not everyone. We can't help everyone. So it's by trying to find out, you know, what your real problem is, and sometimes that just means having taken the conversation offline, right? You know, whereas if someone's gone off topic, then we have to bring them back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Thank you so much. And so remember, your job is to give value to that audio room or to that podcast, right? If someone joins the conversation who is not adding value, you need to very politely bring the conversation back to where it's supposed to be and carry on giving value to those people. You have to respect those VIP stage people's time and energy, and do what you're supposed to do. You're the host. And finally, before you end your show, before you end your podcast episode, you need a CTA, an effective CTA. Now, what is a CTA? So whatever platform you're on, before you end the podcast or before you end the live show, you need to tell people, you need to ask people to do something like, please send me an email with your questions. That's a CTA. Do you know what CTA stands for? Call to action. That's where you ask your audience to do something, to take some action. That's a call to action. So a call to action is important. Why? Because it's important because it can drive traffic to your website, to your well-needed website. So because a website satisfies a lot of needs of a business. And what is it that the website needs itself? Of course, traffic, footfall, right? So this is how you can create more traffic for your that website. So imagine you recorded the podcast, then you upload that podcast episode to whatever platform you want to you need to upload it to. Then for as long as that episode is there, people will listen to this bit, people will hear this bit. So your call to action says, please go to my website. And imagine, for eternity, people will hear this and they will go to your website. For as long as it is online, people will listen to it and they will go to your website. So website traffic problem can be solved by your podcast episodes. Social media engagement is another call to action. You can ask your listeners to go to, just like Jasmine just did a few moments ago, go to my Facebook page. Another method is raffles. You can tell people there's going to be a raffle. I've seen Annie also doing that on launch days when they launch a sales of a book. They tell the audience, so purchase the book and your name will be dropped into a hat, and there's going to be a draw out of the hat, and then you could win $25 or something like that. So that is also a call to action. That's a very clever call to action as well. So it's fun. You buy what you're buying anyway, and then you have the chance to win some money as well, right? So don't forget to build a team. Don't forget to have an offer, and don't forget to create a community. Paulette, we're gonna have to wrap it up. So any final comments, please?
Now I found StreamYard and I've got a little duck. I feel very happy. So I'm upgraded to Chrome, and you have no idea what was going on in the background, but it was all very, very busy. And Ben came to the rescue, my son, yet again. But here I am. I've done it. So I'm feeling like I'm ready for the next one.
That's fantastic. Thank you. Thank you ever so much. Jasmine, thank you for attending this fantastic session as well. What is your final comments, please?
Yes, it's a pleasure. Thank you, Cyrus.
Duo Digital. Guys, please do join Duo Digital. Jasmine will help you with all of your Facebook advertising needs. It's not just Facebook, obviously, any online advertising. Please do purchase Jack and Walter. I've read the book. It is phenomenal. If you have a child, or if you know a child between the ages of 7 and 12, and they are dealing with some sort of anxiety, that book is going to be a great help. Angelica.
Don't forget Annie's book.
Angelica, what is your final comments? Well, I'll get to Annie, don't worry. What is your final comments, please?
Oh, my final comments are I really enjoyed everything that was said today in our room. I also have a book. It's about a pirate.
You have 3, actually. Why are you telling me you have 1 book, Angelica? Come on. Don't tell me you have 1.
And this one helps children learn literacy. It's so important to help our children learn how to read, because if they don't learn how to read, then it's not going to help them in grow that love for reading. And we want to start early with them, and that's how we do it with.
What was the name of the book again? Sorry.
Max's Quest for the Lost Treasure.
Max's Quest for the Lost Treasure. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. And it was a wonderful room. Okay, don't forget Annie's got a book too.
You are wonderful. We will talk about Annie's book in a few moments as well. Natalie, thank you so much for waiting all the while, and thanks for joining the room. What is your question, and what is the issue that you want to share with the room today?
It's all right, Cyrus. I just come here to support you, to be honest.
Thank you so much.
So yeah, I'm just here to support you, so just ignore me.
Oh no, you are one lady hard to ignore. So I know you're doing a great deal for the community. You said to me you are in the process of creating a website, right? And you're definitely going to receive help regarding that. Please do not worry at all. Okay. So and I'll speak to you later as well, Natalie. Don't worry. So Cambria, thank you so much for waiting. And what is your question for the room, for our experts today, please?
Well, greetings, lovely peoples. Thank you for having me. You resolved a lot of questions that I have had, thankfully. So I'm going to get on all your suggestions ASAP. I wanted to kind of revisit when Annie said I was the LinkedIn poet, and I had a short poem that has the word bloom in it, and I was wondering if it was appropriate to share it this time.
Please go ahead.
Thank you kindly. It's called Allegory for Astro Story. Come, hurry to this latest star story. The universe is one song. Don't know the words? Hum along until enlightenment is brought on. Learn, grow until the bloom doth show. Gender revealed, discovered over the years. No more death over endless tears. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much for that. I just wanted to welcome Mandy, Peter, Yasuke, Esume, Lara, William, Zara, Linda, Lisa, Nicholas, Kim, Tassama, Onyeka, Lieslin, Prince Ume, Unimi, Zion, and Pierre, Islam, Sam, Patrina. I'm not really sure why I went to school. I can't read these names. So Michelle, Mohammed, Ipo, Blessing and Joshua. And Joshua again. There's 2 Joshuas in the room. Mark, Coral, dentist. And if I missed any names, please do forgive me. Thank you so much for joining another episode of From Gloom to Boom. I'd like to thank my fantastic VIP guests, Paulette Hallam, Jasmine Ofori, Angelica Coral, Ennio Song, and also all of these amazing guests that actually attended today as well. Natalie and Cambria also. Blessing, thank you so much for
Don't forget
blessing us with
Annie's
your
book.
presence. Now, we want to finish the room by talking about Annie's book. I had to wait for this book for a year. Okay, so it was frustrating, but eventually he published it. One morning I woke up and I'll go through my LinkedIn feed after I ate my breakfast and do a bit of exercise. So I was going through it, and I was in the process of waking up, and then I realized there's a video on LinkedIn. What was the video about? Of course, it was Annie in front of the camera. He was so excited about the book. He was holding the book, right? Stroking the book like a cat, right? And he looked so excited, like I don't know, like a kid in a candy shop or whatever. Educated people say. So, Annie, did you really record that video? I feel
AI is good. AI is not quite me yet. You know, that was me. Of course, I'm even more excited now, Sarah. Now the book's been improved. You know, there's a video coming out tomorrow of me thanking everyone for making the book an 8-time best-selling book, and there's a bestseller in 8 categories.
I am proud of you, Annie. Well
in
done.
4 countries. So
Yeah.
that more that cheers me up as well.
Yeah.
My friends, go and read the book, and go and buy the book.
The name, please, Annie, again.
Lessons we learned from COVID-19, and the book. The link is in the comments as we speak. I just put the link in the comments. So, you know, buy the ebook, and then if you like it that much, which you should do. So, because there are eight authors in one book.
Could you please leave a link?
It's in the comments. It's in the comments.
Oh yeah, thank you so much, guys. If you've been in this room, but you haven't shared your products and services, it's not too late. Please do it now, right? These comment section. Please remember, the thing about live audio rooms is that once the live audio room comes to an end, the interaction comes to an end on face-to-face basis, right? Or should I say ear-to-ear basis, or mouth-to-ear basis. But the comment section will go on forever. For as long as the platform is alive, the comment section will be alive, right? So leave your services and products in the comment section, please. And just to pick an example, Lisa Fevik, she's an expert in menopause. We all have, if you're not a woman who deals with menopause, you have a mom, you have a sister, you have a girlfriend, you have a wife, you have a friend, right? So please do connect with Lisa, right? And we have dentist in this room who's actually a genuine dentist. She's actually not just a dentist, she's a surgeon, but the name says dentist over there. We have a marketing genius. We have Islam in the room. Joshua Lee is one of the amazing individuals in this room. Please do connect with him. He's a podcaster. He's a successful one as well. He knows how to create music. He knows how to improve audio. And he's a genius in podcasting and YouTubing. Do connect with him. We have a lot of authors in this room, guys. And Zion, congratulations on your new book as well. Zion's got a really successful morning room. If I'm not mistaken, Zion's based in... Are you based in Nigeria? Yes, he's based in Nigeria. He's his time zone is the same as our time zone. So it's around 8 minutes to midnight there. So the point is, he's still awake. Do connect with him. So it was another fantastic audio room, and it was successful. Why? Because you were in it, and you made it successful. And the whole point of this room is to share our experiences and get the businesses going. Guys, please do not wait for another COVID-19 to wake us up, right? If you haven't created a business yet, please create a business. If you have created a business, but it's not successful, there's a solution for that. Please make it successful. If you haven't made it successful yet, there are ways to make it successful. Please create a podcast for it. When you create a podcast, build it and they will come, right? You create your podcast, and I promise you, it can only get better. I've never had anyone come to me saying, I'm really sorry, Cyrus. I've created a podcast and my business has gone from bad to worse. I don't know. I wish I hadn't created that podcast. I've never heard that, and I will never ever hear that, because that's not how it works, right? You can't do exercise and bodily speaking get worse. You can't go to the gym and get out of shape. You can't eat healthy food and because of it get ill. So the point is, be kind to that version of you that will come in 10 years, right? Please be that person who wants your version in 10 years to be thankful to the version today. So the Jasmine in 10 years will be thankful to Jasmine today, because the Jasmine today is doing stuff that is that's going to make the Jasmine in 10 years grateful. And of course, Jasmine children, right? So any created a book, and any normally says something really, really interesting. He says, we're going to go, but our books remain. All right. So on that note, we're going to have to go. So guys, it was a pleasure meeting you all and seeing your beautiful faces and hearing your amazing voices. Thank you so much for joining me and my fantastic friends. And it was a pleasure. Thank you. I love and respect you all. Take good care of yourselves and see you soon.